What's up, ladies and gents? This is K-Sig Kid, coming at you with another Destiny video. Today, we're gonna talk just a little bit about Xur, Destiny, the Gjallarhorn. That's right, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Xur's selling the Gjallarhorn this week. And man, have you ever seen a more controversial topic? Unbelievable. So, we're gonna talk about that, what it means to the game now, what it might mean in the future. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Remember, these are just my personal opinions, and they don't have to be your opinions. You could have totally different opinions than I do, and we could still both have fun in the game and enjoy it. But maybe you agree with me. And here it is, the Gjallarhorn, and what makes the Gjallarhorn so ridiculously awesome, the Wolfpack rounds. Whenever you get those and bump this thing all the way up to 365, you're basically a killing machine. It doesn't matter if it's scrubby enemies, nightfall enemies, regular bosses, you're gonna rip through them. And this is definitely a weapon that is a crutch for a lot of players, and maybe you could even consider me that too, because if you've got the Gjallarhorn, chances are you're using it on bosses. So the fact that Xur is selling it, this guy right here, is kind of a hot button issue. Now, he sold it way back in week 1, before anybody had any strange coins, before anybody had any clue what this rocket launcher actually was and what it was all about. Now everybody knows, and everybody gets super hyped to get one, because without question, it is the best gun in the game. It melts through enemies, and that's what you want. You want things dead. So the problem is, should Xur have sold it? In my opinion, of course. I personally always want people to be at their best, and I want people to have the most fun in the game possible. I honestly believe that Gjallarhorn was going to be sold by Xur before the House of Wolves came out, because Crota's End, the Dark Below, all of that lasted for so long, and that's where a lot of the Destiny fanbase kind of faded away, and I thought that Bungie was going to release the Gjallarhorn to get people hyped up and bring them back. Now, you can kind of correlate that over to what they're doing right now. The House of Wolves was a hit. You know, it maybe wasn't as big as originally hyped because Prison of Elders is, you know, a little bit disappointing. Maybe a lot disappointing. But it definitely brought people back to the game. But they've got the Taken King coming out, and the Taken King sounds amazing. So what better way to continue generating hype with your user base than to let them have the opportunity to grab the best gun in the game? I mean, each week there's a Friday. How many people are saying, oh, Xur, you're terrible, you're trolling us because he brings us a universal remote, or he brings us the No Land Beyond again, or something just garbage. Here it is, he's bringing us by far the best gun in the game, and some people still aren't happy. And that's kind of a shame. It's a shame to look at things that way. For me, again, I like everybody to have the most fun they can in the game, and I know the thought is, oh, well, those guys who bought it from Xur didn't earn it. But I mean, how did I earn 3 Gjallarhorns? Granted, I did do Atheon, the Gorgon Chest, Nightfalls, Deathsinger, and Crota 3 times a week for many weeks to eventually get it. But I mean, in the end of the day, I was still subject to RNG. If it didn't want to drop for me, it wasn't going to drop for me. And aside from my Gjallarhorn, whenever I was a Titan in the Dark Below, I was on level 31 for 6 weeks of the hard raid, because I couldn't get my one-shot at boots every week to drop. It just wouldn't do it. So yeah, I definitely know the pains of the RNG. And in this case, it just lets more people have it. And to me, that's a good thing, because I want people to be stronger. If they're going to go ahead and potentially jump into my games, I want them to be the best they can possibly be. So it really doesn't hurt my game. You know, if you're in here against PvE, you're only killing the AI anyway, so it's not hurting me at all. In PvP, sure, it's a great weapon whenever the heavy comes around, but that's not all the time anyway. And chances are people are using primary exotic weapons as it is. So you're not really going to necessarily see it all the time anyway, in the aspect that it would kill you. So no, let them go ahead and have their fun in it. Let them blow up stuff. Now, one thing that Bungie said in their Weapon Patch 2.0 update was that they were going to nerf the Gjallarhorn because people weren't being allowed to do content if they didn't have it, by people on the LFG groups or whatnot. So now that everybody has a chance at getting this, legitimately, buy the weapon and have it in their inventory, will Bungie still nerf the gun? Well, if you believe their reasoning for wanting to nerf it, they shouldn't, but they will. They absolutely will. And I disagree with it, which is why I disagreed with their reasoning for wanting to nerf it in the beginning. I don't think it had anything to do with people being excluded from content. For instance, you can see that there have been polls and stats and figures that over 70% of the community already had the rocket launcher anyway. You're really not hurting anybody by letting the additional 20-30% get a chance to get the rocket launcher. You're just letting them get to experience all the content you are. Because there are some bosses that it's really beneficial to have this, because you don't want to be just stuck forever shooting around enemies whenever you can go ahead and melt them down with the Gjallarhorn. And again, that is a potential design problem that Bungie has right now on their bosses, that they're all health sinks. And that's why this weapon is so good for bosses, because you can take their health down quickly while still staying alive. Now, the other problem that this bodes for the game in the future is that if Xur is selling the Gjallarhorn, and they are going to still nerf it, which I believe they are, how bad is that nerf going to be? I have a feeling it's going to be pretty bad, and that's really disappointing because there's no weapon in the game that has brought more joy and excitement to people than seeing the Gjallarhorn drop. And if you still want to have that happen, don't buy it from Xur. Just wait for it to drop for you on your own, and problem solved there. I mean, that may be a bit extreme, but if it's that important to you to get the drop, wherever it is, RNG-wise, then don't buy it. Don't rob yourself of that if it's that important to you. You should always do what makes you happy and let you have the most fun in the game. And that's again my thought as to why Xur should sell this. This could be our curtain call for the Gjallarhorn. There could be a better exotic weapon in the future. This thing could be nerfed to where nobody wants to use it for months. So this is the curtain call. Let everybody in. Let everybody enjoy it. If you've had a Gjallarhorn for 9 months, enjoy it. Let the people have their fun for the last month. That's just my opinion. Anyway, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, smack that like button. Subscribe to the channel to keep updated on daily Destiny content. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, your Gjallarhorn, and I'll see you around in Destiny. Gjallarhorn.